Hey y'all, welcome back to FK the Pod. This is your host for this week, Seth, coming at you here, and I'm also joined by Trent. Once again, not joined by Reed, who is in Takoyaki Bell right now.
Probably.
He could be.
He's getting his takoyaki, his taco yakied.
Yeah, she taco on my yaki till I bell.
To like Bell.
Go check out our last episode to hear more about Taco Bell.
Yeah, don't listen to this one.
No, yeah, listen to this one too, but you can go back and listen to that old one. We've got like 5 years of content for you to go back and listen to.
Holy
I think,
shit, dude.
as of like this week. So,
Dude, maybe we need to go back and listen to some of those early ones ourselves.
yeah,
See how we've changed.
yeah. I
the
wonder
better,
if we
maybe?
sound different.
Yeah, I don't know.
It kind of scares me a little bit.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Who do you like better, now us or then us?
Well, we're growing in popularity always, so I guess more people like us now because we're top of the YouTube charts and everything. But you can go check us out wherever we're at FKA the Pod. That's YouTube, TikTok, Threads, Twitter, Instagram. You can also email us. We're fkthepod@gmail.com. That's us.
That's right.
I'm drinking this evening for the business that I'm taking care of a Luchador Mexican lager by the Mason Jar Lager Company out of Fuquay Varina, North Carolina.
Nice. You know what? You mentioned that last week, I think, at a Fuquay.
Yeah.
And I had heard the name before, but I didn't know where. And I think it's close to where Rhett and Link grew up.
It could be.
They talk about Fuquay, I'm pretty sure.
I know that they are from North. Yes, Rhett and Link. They are on the Fuquay Varina Wikipedia page as notable people.
Wow. There you go, man.
Wow.
But same as last episode for me, I'm drinking a Peeber, and I'm also realizing now that last episode, for the audio listeners, I didn't describe what a Peeber is. It's a Pabst Blue Ribbon. You freaking
Yes.
uncultured person.
Yeah.
It's a PBR. Come on. Easy. 16 ouncer.
Rhett and Link. That's crazy.
There you go, man. You're in the land of R&L.
R&L. What's crazy too is like, I mean, you would think as they age that they get less popular, but I feel like they're more popular now maybe than they've ever been.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know. I know they like go on Jimmy Kimmel like every year. Or is it
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon? Jimmy Fallon, maybe.
Yeah, it's weird how they're both named Jimmy, isn't it?
Yeah. It's annoying.
Pretty annoying. Yeah.
I used to have opinions about one being better than the other, but I don't care
Yeah. I don't care.
anymore.
Oh, speaking of Jimmy's, kind of, what I want to talk to you today about what are called. This is a list of names that refer to an average person. So you know how
Okay.
when you say like Tom, Dick, and Harry or whatever, or Jane Doe or John Doe,
Yeah.
those are names that we have in English to refer to like anonymous people. Basically, every different language and like countries that use the same language have different versions of this.
Okay.
And
All
we
right.
have literal translations of some of these things into English, which I think is pretty funny too. So
Yeah. Hell yeah.
one of the things that got me interested in this is hearing that in Denmark, what they will say if they're talking about like, there was a body found and we don't know the name of it, or there's like an anonymous person who submitted a complaint or whatever, is they might say Herr Og Fru Danmark, which just means Mr. and Mrs. Denmark. Herr is like Mr. Fru is Mrs.
Mrs.,
Mr. and Mrs. Denmark. But the more fun one that Denmark sometimes uses is Herr Og Fru Hackaboff. And I don't know if I'm going to pronounce any of these things correctly today, but that means Mr. and Mrs. Beef Patty.
Okay, that's interesting.
which is pretty fun.
That's good, man. That's good. So you have like a article that lists a bunch of these? Did you say Wikipedia?
Yeah, it's a Wikipedia page, but it's got like a bunch. Like, I mean, we're going to talk about...
Hang on. Hear me out.
Okay.
For a few of these, for maybe some of the more funny ones...
Yeah.
You should let me guess where they're from.
Okay.
How many countries are there? Are there like 200?
I would say we probably have 15 or 20.
Okay.
Maybe more than that. And some of them are just kind of language based, I guess. So like a lot of them are in Spanish, right? And so it's like, could be a lot of different countries, I guess. But so that's why I said some of them are regional, I guess, or based on the country. But yeah, maybe I'll make up a fake one or two and throw them in there and see if you can guess.
Oh,
too.
yeah. Turn it into a foosebump situation.
Yeah. So they go through these all in just alphabetical order. But I'll talk about the U.S., I guess, first, because we'll be familiar with these things, and they're kind of funny. So obviously we have like John Doe and Jane Doe, which you might apply to like for legal reasons and stuff. Like if you're watching CSI or whatever, they might say we got like a John Doe who was murdered and stuff. You got Tom, Dick, and Harry, which you probably heard before too, or Average Joe or Joe Schmo. All those are pretty.
I'd be interested. Common. I mean, we don't have to get into it now, but maybe in my personal time, I'd be interested on learning about like where these started.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because John Doe and Jane Doe, they have their own Wikipedia page, so you can do more research there. Tom, Dick, and Harry also has a Wikipedia page, so you could probably see some, history there.
Some Toms and Harrys and Richards.
Yeah, a lot of Toms, Richards, and Harrys. I don't know why they chose those names, because I feel like that's not... I don't know. I feel like there aren't a lot of Harrys out there.
Yeah, not in America. I mean, there's a few.
Yeah.
How many Harrys do you know?
I think I know 0 Harrys. I know more Toms than Harrys for sure. I know very few Dicks.
Yeah, I think I know 1 Harry.
Is he older? Younger?
No, he's my
same age.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Also in the U.S., we've got John Smith. We've got John Q. Public, which I think you would just see. I think that's one that like the government would use if they had like an example passport. It might be for John Q. Public.
Got it. Yeah.
Joe the Plumber. I'd never heard that one. Average Joe. Joe Six-Pack.
Interesting. It's a average Joe but ripped.
Yeah, he's not your average Joe. He's got a 6-pack. And then Private Snuffy or Joe Snuffy. That's like a Army specific term. So we're not really associated with that. But if you're in the Army and you're talking about some other Army person, you might call him Joe Snuffy.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Snuffy.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound serious enough for the military.
No.
But what do I know, man?
Yeah.
Maybe they're a real pack of jokers out there.
They're super funny in the military. Yeah. So in France, we've got Monsieur or Madame tout le monde, which just means Mr. and Mrs. Everybody.
Okay.
Fine.
All right. Pretty basic.
You've got Monsieur ou Madame une telle, which just means somebody, Mr. and Mrs. No Name.
Okay. All right.
A lot of these are very literal.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Man, the French, They don't have any snuffies out there. That's kind of boring.
No snuffies out there. In Germany, you got Max Munstermann, which means
Okay.
Max Sample Man.
Sample man?
Yeah. Or
Moonster means sample?
I guess so. You also got Erika Munstermann, which means Erica Sample Man, which is for women.
That's crazy. Well, so now I'm questioning Munster cheese.
It's just everybody's cheese.
Yeah, it's just the ones that they give out for free at Costco.
The people's cheese. The cheese of the people.
Volks cheese.
Volks cheese. In China, you might say Xiaoming or Xiaomin, which is just a generic name. It doesn't translate that for me. But you might also
Like
say
John Smith.
Mumu or Mujia or Muyi. And each of those just means person A, person B, etc.
Oh,
so if you know the Chinese alphabet, that might have done something for you. I don't know. Yeah. Some of these have like some geographic stuff too, which I think is kind of funny. So in Australia, you might say you refer to somebody in a specific thing. So it's like a lot of these are like references to trains or buses. It's like something that just basically means some person on the train, which is just like this is some random person. So in Australia, you could say it's the man on the Bondi tram.
Bondi? How do you spell that?
Bondi.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know what the Bondi tram is, but it's some kind of public transportation,
Bondi.
I guess.
I feel like I've heard that, but pronounced Bondi.
It could be Bondi.
Bondi Beach is in Australia.
There you go. It's a guy going to Bondi Beach.
Yeah.
In the UK, you have, in the same vein of man on the Bondi tram, you have the man on the Clapham omnibus, which is just like guy on a bus going to Clapham. I don't know what Clapham is, but
Really quickly too, the Bondi tram, according to Google AI, is a now defunct tram line that ran to Bondi Beach from Sydney.
there you go.
Shoot through like a Bondi tram means to depart in haste, a common saying dating back to the 1940s. So the guy on the Bondi tram doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, because it's gone now. But
Yeah, so, you mean a ghost?
apparently, a lot of times that they're using this with the man on the Clapham omnibus or the man on the Bondi tram is it's in like a legal context. So you're like,
Yeah.
you're saying like, would the average person riding the bus like say that this person is guilty or whatever or something like, or would the average person, because this happens in copyright a lot, I feel like, would the average person, aka man on bus, think that this song sounds the same as this song, or did you steal the song,
Right.
kind of thing?
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like a Joe Schmo equivalent.
Yeah, Joe Schmo. In the UK, we've also got Fred Blogs
Blogs.
with 2 G's.
Interesting.
Fred
Okay,
Blogs.
all right.
Yeah. Let's see. We've got in Argentina, there are a bunch of them here. And I think the fun one here is Fulano, Mengano, and Zutano, which are not like real Argentinian or even Spanish names. They're just made up names. So it's kind of like their version of Tom, Dick, and Harry, except they just made up these names. So Fulano, Mengano, and Zutano, it just means some guy. So you could say, on the way to work, I ran into Fulano, who's not a real person. This isn't a real name.
Oh, right.
And this guy just kind of talked to me, and that's why I
Yeah,
was
so
late
instead
today.
of saying some guy, which is 2 syllables,
Yeah. You say
You can say
Fulano, which is 3.
Fulano, which is 3 syllables. Yeah, yeah.
They're all 3 syllables too. Fulano, Mingano, and Zutano. Yeah.
Those were the three dudes that burned in the fire in the Bible, right?
Fulano, Mingano, Zutano. Rest
Yeah,
in peace. Unless they burned for a good reason. I don't know.
I think in the Bible it says they burned for a good reason.
Yeah.
They were standing up for Jesus or something.
Oh. Well,
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
this is a story that missed me, I think.
There's a Veggie Tales about it, man.
There's a Veggie Tales about it. So my sister came to visit this weekend from where she goes to college. She drove down here. And I was talking to her. She was talking about the movie Nosferatu, which she saw. I didn't see it. But I was like, she was like, oh, the story was kind of the same as Dracula for a lot of it. It was a little bit different, but like, you know, kind of the same as Dracula. And I was like, well, you know, a lot of these vampire things are probably going to have spooky old vampire lives in a castle. People show up to the castle and then stuff happens. Anyway, but then I made a reference to Nosferatu being on SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And she was like, Nosferatu was on SpongeBob?
Oh, dude, what?
And I was like, yes, what do you mean? You don't know Nosferatu was on SpongeBob? So I had to show her the video.
Holy shit.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy, dude. That's like a real sense of us getting older.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
That's why we got to go back and listen to us 5 years ago when we were still young and spry.
Yeah, back when everybody knew that Nosferatu was a confirmed Bikini Bottom resident.
He was the one turning the lights on and off the whole time. Nosferatu.
Yeah.
You can use this one in a couple different countries. I like this one. I think it would be pronounced Jan Met de Pet.
Okay.
You want to guess what that means? Jan Met de Pet?
Well, I'm going to guess that Jan roughly translates to John.
You're correct there. Yeah.
Is it Met de Pet one word?
Met de Pet is 3 different words. Met de Pet. Met de Pet.
Huh. I have no idea. I'm not up to speed on my 3-letter European language words.
This is in the Netherlands and Belgium. So this is Dutch, this language here. I mean, it just means John with the cap. Like John who's wearing a hat.
Okay.
You know that guy? John with the hat? You got in Estonia, again, I don't know anything about Estonia or the language they speak there. This just translates to person on the street. Inimine Tanavalt.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Person from the street. Person from the street.
People on the
Person
street.
with the hat.
You gotta eat on it.
Person on the bus. Admi. It's from India and Pakistan. It just means an ordinary person.
Mm-hmm.
In Italy, you don't have anything that translates to anything else, but you just have common names. So Mario Rossi is one, they might say.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is just like saying John Smith, right? Their version of John Smith is Mario Rossi, I guess.
Yeah.
In Japan, where Reed is, I wonder if he's going to hear this while he's there. You might say Taro Yamada or Hanako Yamada, which is just like...
See, dude, I didn't realize until recently that taro is also a name.
Like the vegetable.
Yeah,
Potatoes,
it's basically like an ube, right?
Is it Asian taro? Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
There you go.
Taro milk tea is my favorite boba flavor.
Which came first? Taro Yamada or taro milk tea?
Yeah, and I recently started watching a new anime on Netflix. Main character's name is Taro. Yep. Can't tell you anything else about it though.
Uh, um, and a lot of them are also just a common name. So in the U.S., you might say John Smith or whatever. In Norway,
Right.
you could say Ola Nordman, which is just a common Norwegian name, right?
Mm.
Or Kari Nordman. In
Nordman.
Poland, you can say Jan Kowalski or Anna Kowalska. Kowalski just being a common
Right.
Polish name.
Cool. That sounds familiar. There's some
You-
like popular, maybe late 80s, 90s TV show, I feel like, that has a character whose last name is Kowalski. Am I making this up?
Kowalski means blacksmith in Polish, which is pretty
Oh,
cool.
interesting.
Are you thinking of Mike Wazowski?
No, I could have
Okay.
remembered Mike Wazowski's name. I'm never forgetting about Mike Wazowski. Come
No,
on.
would never forget about Mike Wazowski. Yeah, it's very, very. Kowalski is a character in Madagascar. He's one of the penguins.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Is that
that's
what it is?
That's got to be it, dude.
I think there are a bunch of them.
A
A lot
Polish
of
penguin.
Yeah, a lot of Polish penguins out there. Um, yeah, I don't know. A lot of Polish last names in the U.S., especially in
Oh,
Reed's
for
neck
sure.
of the woods. I feel like, and also in
Yeah.
your new neck of the woods. I feel like.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like you talked about getting some Polish food.
Maybe. I can't remember. I don't know. Shout out a buddy of mine from high school. Last name Makowski. Pretty Polish sounding.
Pretty
At
Polish.
least. Yeah.
Let's see. I think that's most of the good ones I had. In Yiddish, you might say Chaim Yankel, which I like. I like the Yiddish. You know,
Hmm.
New Jersey, New York bagel shop. You might hear people talk about Chaim Yankel.
She yankling on my hind till I
Till I
did.
bagel. uh, so yeah, I don't know. There's some that are language based, some where you're on a train, some where you're wearing a hat. I just thought this was really
Right.
interesting that like this is such a common thing that every language needs to have a term that's like this person. I don't know who this person is, but we're going to refer to this person not just by saying some person, but by having like a name for them. And
Yeah.
that
Right.
could just be a common name, or it could just be like, say, an average person on that you might run into on the train, or some dude off the street, some person wearing a hat. I don't know, kind of interesting
Yeah.
stuff.
I think maybe a good idea is to, instead of saying like Joe Schmo
Yeah.
all the time, you can change it up and say like TV or cartoon characters.
Ooh, I like that.
He's a regular Scoobert Doobert or whatever.
Cooper, he's a regular Scrappert do.
That guy's a real check that guy out. He's a real fucking Johnny Bravo over there.
And what's also interesting too is also on Wikipedia, right? We just talked about like sort of placeholder names for individual people. We also have a whole bunch of placeholder names for things that aren't people. So like if you're thinking about generic company, if you've watched the Looney Tunes, you might say like Acme Company.
Yeah,
right? That's the
right.
one that they always used. Or if you're talking about some random street or the business district, you might say like it's on Main Street in the U.S.
Yep.
and in the U.K. they might say it's on High Street.
Wow, interesting. I didn't know that. High Street.
Yeah. You might hear about like widget companies. That's like a sort of like business school example is like companies
Okay.
that make widgets if you're some random thing.
Yeah.
You might there are lots of terms for like geographical locations that are bad, like podunk or whatever,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is like or the boondocks. These are like
Yeah.
not real places, but they're references to something that like people understand, kind of.
Mm. The real bad one out there. Bumfuck.
Yeah, that one doesn't show up
tough.
on Wikipedia,
That
but
one's
yes.
tough, dude. That one's tough.
Yeah. And this has happened for a long time. So here's kind of an interesting thing too. Ancient Egyptian scribes, if they couldn't read somebody's name in like the census or whatever, they would call them Hud Jaffa, which means like we can't read this. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Like redacted.
Yeah, redacted. We can't understand this. So. Yeah, kind of interesting. We like to have a name for something, even if we don't know what the real name is. We come up with one. We make a fake company name. We make a fake person name, fake place name.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of cool.
Defendant Jesse Pinkman.
That's good.
Instead of John Doe.
Defendant Sandy Cheeks.
There you go. Nice, man. Nice. Well, do we need a segue into emails?
I don't think so. You know, we always make up, or often make up, fake names for the people who email us. There you go. That's not bad. So we got an email from Ola Nordvagen. Is that what it was?
Ola Nordvagen.
For Norwegian people. Jan Mettepet. This is an email from Jan Mettepet.
Let's see. Yeah, okay. So, subject. Subject of this email, I haven't read through it yet, is Konnichiwa, bitches.
Oh, it's from Taro Yamada.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It says, "Sup, fuckers. I'm on vacation right now, but don't think that will make me miss the pot." Okay, I had a hard time with that.
Wow. Don't think that will make me miss the pod. It's pretty choppy.
Yeah, it's pretty. He's losing his language over there.
He's turning Japanese, like that song.
I don't. What song?
It's from. It was on Guitar Hero. You would know it if you heard it, I think.
Okay, probably. He says, "Psycho Mooove. My coworker recently came back from paternity leave, and was giving his paternity leave. Wow,
nice.
Sorry, was giving his story about the baby and being and tired and stuff." Being spelled with 2 B's.
Okay. It's like Barry B. Benson. That's a pretty good fake person name.
Yeah, nice. But then ends the story with, quote, "And now we have a gorgeous little girl," end quote. Calling a baby gorgeous, let space loan your own daughter is asylum behavior.
Asylum behavior.
Like, it's not that different from beautiful, right? And people say beautiful baby girl all the time.
Yeah. Is that the end of the email or is there more? Because I have some stuff to say about that. I guess I'll say it here. Is the other day, my girlfriend Jill, I think this is related. She was talking about mostly hers, partly my cat, Denny the kitty. And she said that he was the love of her life. And I was like, I don't know if that's a term you use to refer to a pet or even to like a kid. Man. I know. I feel like that's a romantic term. But I think that people do say beautiful about their own kids. Yeah. Normally their daughters. I think gorgeous is not that different from that. I don't know if I would say it if I was in this situation, be different, but I get it.
If it was like my attractive baby girl, you know what I'm saying?
My hot baby.
Right? Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, but I think gorgeous is okay.
Like if you have a daughter, right, and she's going to prom or whatever, like what are you supposed to say? Like when she walks down the stairs, you know?
You look so pretty.
Yeah, you look great, hon.
Yeah. Oh, good for you. I'm proud.
I feel like you're allowed to. You look so smart. I feel like you're probably.
You look hilarious, actually.
I feel like you're allowed to, and you probably should say that, like, she looks beautiful,
Yeah,
right? I think that
yeah.
that's. I get that it can sound weird, but like, so I don't know. I understand where Taro Yamada is coming from, but I think it's fine. I don't
Hmm.
know if I would do it, but you know,
Yeah. On the scale of Psycho moves, pretty low. Pretty
yeah.
low. Chill. Sherbet's being crazy. Okay, here we go. My flight was also delayed for about 2 hours. How long would you spend talking to the person sitting next to you on the plane? Parentheses, I spent an hour.
Oh my god.
5 minutes. Easy. I'm not here to talk to strangers.
So it depends, right? I mean, this is a long flight to take to get where he's going, and you want to be on good terms
Hmm.
with the people on either side of you. And I think also if you're like, oh, I need to talk to this person a little bit so that when I get up to pee, they're not like, ugh, this
Oh,
person.
you know what? Yeah, I've never been on a like cross globe flight,
Yeah,
so it could be
yeah.
different. Yeah.
So you might need to do a little talking just to say, hey, how are you? You know, if I'm sleeping and my head falls onto your shoulder or whatever, uh, I don't know. You might have to talk to somebody a little bit. And this is a really good opportunity to do it because it's like you don't really have to talk about anything or give any information about yourself. You can just kind of complain about the delay. So I think these are
Yeah.
like free, easy opportunity to talk to somebody and get a little goodwill for when you ask them if you can have their pretzels and stuff.
Right. Yeah. He does say psycho move follow up. Is it crazy to talk to the person next to you on the plane? Um, I don't think so. I think it's crazy to talk to them at length,
Yeah.
you know? But little icebreakers, not too bad. There's a dude on my last flight. We were on the first flight together, like sitting a few seats apart, and there was like some weird sort of like seating mix up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then on the next flight, I was sitting like pretty much right next to this guy, and he goes, "That kid that was sitting next to me," he was like, "You don't have any allergies, do you?" I was like, "No, no." He's like, "Okay, good." And he brings out a bag of peanuts, and he's like, "That kid that was sitting next to me on the last flight, I brought out my bag of peanuts," and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm allergic to nuts." And he was complaining to me about this like 16-year-old that was sitting next to him,
Oh man.
which is funny.
Yeah.
And then Taro says, finally, I would love to hear your opinion on small talk and those who engage in small talk. Do you guys initiate small talk? Do you like it?
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I would say for me, it would be rude not to engage in small talk, but I'm okay without it. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Unless it's like somebody that, like, we have mutual friends or something, like, I'm not going to sit in silence in a room with a couple of my girlfriend's friends because my girlfriend left the room. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Um, but if it's like you're in an elevator
Yeah.
with a complete stranger, maybe I'll be like, have a good one when I'm stepping off the
Yeah.
elevator, but that's it.
This is something I was going to say, and I don't know if this. I don't think what I'm about to say is revolutionary, but I don't know if there's a separate word for this. But I think I really like the smallest of small talk, and I was trying to figure out if there's a
Yeah.
different word for this, like mini talk. Like if I'm on an
Yeah.
elevator with somebody for 30 seconds, and it can really just be, "Hey, how are you doing? Oh, it's Wednesday. At least it's a nice day outside. Okay, have a good one." Like I think
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at that. If it's even a little bit deeper than that, like, "Oh, like what are you up to today?" If you're trying to get like any information out of me that beyond just like me observing and communicating my observations or whatever, that's
Yep.
when it starts to get bothersome. But like the lowest level of small talk, just like a "Hey, how are you? Beautiful day outside. Have a good one. Finally Friday, whatever." All that stuff, like I'm happy with. Love that because that's just like
Yeah.
you're walking down the
Yeah.
hallway, you say hi to somebody, that's easy. But if it's like 2 or 3 minutes instead of just 30 seconds, that's when it starts to get like, ugh.
Yeah,
So I could do it
right.
for a little while. And then if I have a good excuse to get out just after 30 seconds, that's perfect. What a great conversation. This person saw my face. Hopefully I left them with like oh, that person was nice and inquired about how I was. But we didn't have to get into like the intricacies of like, what'd you do over the weekend? Oh, I had to go to the vet. Oh, no. you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
it's a
know.
lot. It's a lot. Yeah, no, I feel like you're probably more naturally social than I am. I don't know. I'm pretty introverted. But a lot of times I'll get like people maybe trying to make small talk with me where they're like, "Oh, I really like your sweater," or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And 99% of the time, I'm just like, "Oh, thanks."
Well, see, that's a tricky one too, because that's like kind of an avenue. As long as it's something that's kind of unique, which like if you're wearing it, it probably is. It's not just like a sweater you got from Banana Republic or whatever. It's like, oh, I might have got this at a thrift store, or like I got it from some other kind of interesting place. And so like
Yeah,
somebody complimenting you on that might be like an avenue for them to ask you questions about like places you go and things that you're
yeah,
interested in that's
yeah.
deeper than maybe you
It's
want to
too deep.
go.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like you're wearing
Exactly.
something because you like it, but them asking you about it is like, tell me about you. And then that's like maybe deeper than you want to go. So
Yeah, right.
it's tricky, the small talk.
I agree. I agree. Not always bad though.
No.
And then Taro wraps it up by saying, "Follow us everywhere at FK the Pod." Really weird for a random emailer to
He's just
say.
part of the community, I guess.
He ends it with "Happy birthday, Crabchella, aka Taro Yamota." No, it says Reed.
Yamada. Taro Yamada.
Yeah, yeah. That was Reed. Thanks, Reed, for sending us an email. We appreciate it. And you know what? If you're hearing this, that means we successfully learned how to edit the video and record on this website.
Yeah.
Speaking of psycho moves, though, I do have another one that I would like to
Okay.
share. Maybe if you have one too, you can be thinking
Yeah.
about it while I'm talking about it. If you don't, not a big deal. But recently, uh, this was a super weird situation for one of my buddies. Their ex from like 4-ish years ago had sort of like a freak accident and was in ICU. And they hadn't talked to this person maybe in like 2 years or so. And their ex's sister calls them to be like, "Hey, just thought you should know your ex is in the hospital and they're probably going to die."
Oh
Situation.
my God.
And my question, maybe this isn't exactly a psycho move, but my question is like, 4 years removed from a relationship, like when do you stop needing to know about this person? You know what I'm saying?
This is weird. I don't know. I guess the psycho move you're saying is on the poor girl's sister.
Yeah.
For making this call. Because I guess this person assumes that this other person would want to know this information. And like,
Right.
I don't know. I mean,
It's a crazy situation.
this is a
dude.
crazy situation.
I think if I were on the receiving end of this call, I'd be
Yeah.
like, first off, I guess I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
also like, I'm not involved in this anymore.
Yeah.
That's a tough situation, but I don't know if it's right to be calling me after not having any contact with this person for
Yeah.
years. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if I got the call, I'd be like, yeah, I would, I don't know, obviously show sympathy, and I would feel bad. Like, I mean,
Oh, for
most
sure.
most people in the world,
Yeah.
I hope that they are happy and healthy. There are a few people who I hope that they're not happy and healthy, for sure. who I wish suffering upon.
Mostly ones that are running the country.
Yeah, I mean, so there are a few people who I wish suffering upon. But yeah, so like getting this call, I would feel bad. But yeah, I mean, I would feel, I guess, confused sometimes. I don't know what the right time frame is. But yeah, I mean, if it's somebody who I've, you know, either because they didn't want anything to do with me or I didn't want anything to do with them, haven't spoken for years. Yeah, it is interesting to, like, out of the blue, hear news about them. And the news is not good. And then that's confusing.
So...
yeah,
I don't know. Psycho move to call your your siblings' ex 4 years removed about their not well-being.
Their poor being.
Poor being.
Yes, I would say.
Yeah,
I guess you're.
I guess also you have to think about it like in the moment. You know, you're the one doing the calling, right? In the moment, you're probably not.
Right.
Stopping to think about, hey, like, does this person need to know this information?
Also, we were just talking about it. I don't know if it was on this episode or the prior episode, but about how long we've been doing this podcast, which is 5 years. 4 years ago doesn't seem like that long ago. So I guess there's that too. But
that's true.
Yeah. What an interesting.
Yeah. Once you become an adult, it's like the last sort of milestone that you can look back to gets further and further away, but it doesn't feel further away.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
Like graduation. I guess for you that was more recently. But...
Yeah, that was a couple months ago. Oh man. Yeah. Okay, I guess I've got a psycho move, which hopefully is a little bit lighter. I don't know. That's an interesting.
Bad. Sorry.
No, it's on the prior episode too. I mean, like when it's a 2-person pod, you get. I think maybe you do a little bit talk about how do you motivate yourself to go through day-to-day life.
Yeah, right. You get a little more serious. You talk about things that maybe aren't entirely funny.
Yeah,
but it's okay. Well, I'm going to be honest. I find these sort of breaks from our normal content a little bit refreshing.
Yeah. So thanks, Taro. Hope you're having fun. I'm entering into this is Psycho Move on myself, potentially. So I am. I guess the details of this particular sweepstakes that I'm entering aren't particularly relevant, but I will tell you what they are before I tell you what I did in order to enter this. There's a sweepstakes that I am entitled to because I'm part of a program, and I pay money for this. This is Robinhood Gold. Okay. Robinhood is like a stock trading app or whatever, but I pay them $50 a year because they have a credit card that has 3% cash back, and also they like match my retirement contributions and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I make a lot of money from this thing just because it's like 3% cash back, 50%, or I pay $50 a year for this. Like I pay for it based on what I spend on the credit card. But also, it entitles me to enter these weird sweepstakes that they're doing. So one of these sweepstakes is like, they're giving away a 2.5 kilogram gold bar.
Okay. All right.
Which is worth, at around the time of recording, $96,000.
Holy fuck. That's insane, dude. That's pretty sweet.
The way you have to enter this, though, and this is interesting, and this is where I think I might be the psycho, is you get one entry for every $1 that you put into their like investment platform, up to 1 million entries. So obviously, I can't put $1 million into this
insane,
to get a gold bar.
Useless sweepstakes, dude.
Yeah, if you have $1 million,
dollars, you're fucked. You're fucked.
So, but I also understand from my previous times interacting with sweepstakes that I think this might be a rule for all like U.S. based sweepstakes, is that there has to be some way for you to enter that does not involve purchasing.
Yeah, yeah. I remember you saying that about something else
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
I've talked about me entering sweepstakes before on this pod. I have not, I don't think, won any ever, but this is the one, I think. Because I did my research, I looked at the fine print, and you can enter this without purchasing or giving this company any money. And you can enter it without even being a gold member. So it's all
Okay. All
marketed
right.
towards only people who pay this $50 a year. And
Do you want to
also,
give this? Do you want to give this information out?
well, let me tell you. Yeah, I do. Because let me tell you what I did in order to enter this. So to enter this, you have to, without paying any money or whatever, you have to send by mail like your answers to all these different questions, which is mostly just like information about you, so they can locate you if you win.
Yeah.
But you have to send this by mail, so you have to buy a stamp and stuff to this P.O. box in Michigan or whatever. But every mail-in entry you get is 3,000 entries. So every letter you send
Holy
them is worth
shit.
$3,000 invested into their thing.
Holy shit, dude. That's crazy. What's a million divided by 3,000? You just got to send one every day for the next couple years.
It's 330-ish. But I did the math and looked at how many stamps I had. A stamp costs like 75 cents. So I was like, I'm going to send 18 of these letters, which is equal to me putting about $50,000 into this app. And I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's solid, dude. That's cool.
So you can see right here, I have a whole bunch of...
Maybe don't put your address on there. You know?
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know if that's psycho
cool.
move to enter a sweepstakes.
No, I don't think so. Especially, it would be a psycho move if you bought 50,000 shares.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Versus me sending like 20 letters.
Yeah, right. That's not a
Okay.
big deal. Especially, I mean, like, yeah, $50,000 versus
Yeah.
$15.
Yeah,
You
my
know?
investment here is $15 in sending out these letters.
It's not psycho if it's that smart.
And if I get a gold bar, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I have to figure out how to sell a gold bar because I don't want a gold bar, really.
Can you take it to the bank? Can you just take a gold bar to the bank?
I don't know. I figure it's got to be like, if you see a gold bar like in a movie, it's got like it's of that certain shape and it might have like a stamp in it that tells you like the purity and the weight and stuff. So I feel like you should just be able to take it to a bank, but I might have to sell it to a pawn shop or something.
Yeah. Google says, yes, you can take a gold bar to the bank, but not all banks handle precious metals. So you should check with your bank beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever you win that gold bar,
Yeah.
call your bank before you lug it
Yeah.
to the actual location.
And they're like, if you win the lottery, you probably shouldn't tell anybody. If I win a gold bar worth $96,000, I think I probably will tell people. Like, because if you're gonna come after me to steal $96,000 from me,
Yeah.
there are a lot of other people who you should come after to rob. If like,
Yeah. Dude, you should like, I mean, hypothetically, if you do win this bar, right? You better have a way to get rid of that thing fast, though, because like taxes are gonna be fucking nuts.
Yeah.
You can't just be sitting on this gold bar come April next year.
No. Yeah. I gotta get rid of it and not tell anybody that I ever received it.
Bury it in the backyard, make a little map for it, hide it away in a chest of some kind.
Yeah. Be like do a pirate thing.
Yeah,
Because they're not making any more gold. That's the thing about it. There's a limited amount.
That's true. That's
So-
true, man.
Anyway. Also, your hat is from Golden, Colorado. So shout out.
Oh yeah,
Gold
that's
pod.
right. It's a gold hat.
Yeah. It's cool.
Well,
Well, that's all we got for this week here on FK the Pod. You can follow us everywhere. We're at FK the Pod on Threads, on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, and also Gmail. You can email us. We're fkthepod@gmail.com if you want to be like Taro Yamada.
That's right. Yeah.
We can make a fake name for you.
You know what? Keep listening these coming up weeks. Reed's not here. We may get into some deep shit.
Yeah. And
All right?
we might upgrade our whole
biggest fears, our biggest insecurities.
Yeah. We might be $96,000 richer, and then
Yeah.
I don't know what we would do with that. Buy a new mic.
A $90,000 mic.
And then we have 6,000 left over to pay the taxes or something.
That's right.
So.
See ya.